We've got Cole Hocker, winner of the mile and 3,000. Open the floor to questions.
Cole, after your mile victory, how did you approach the 3K? And were you even aware that the coaching staff was pondering whether they even enter you in that race at all?
Not really. Bennett told me about 2 weeks ago what the plan was, mile 3K, which including the prelim is 3 races. So that was like obviously pretty big workload for 2 days of competition. But yeah, so going into it, I was ready to do that regardless. And then after, I was just all focused on the mile. I didn't even talk to coach about a race plan in the 3K until after the mile. Just didn't want to think about anything else besides the mile. And so when that race went pretty much according to plan, the 3K was just another opportunity for points for the team, and then just for myself, just as good as I can do. And it really wasn't as stressful because I already had one of the best races of my life an hour before.
Now you're the youngest American ever to win the NCAA indoor mile, and I think now the only Oregon runner ever to do this particular indoor double. Could you even fathom something like that? I mean, last year, of course, you didn't get, this was your first national meet. I mean, how do you process all of these kinds of things?
Right. Because definitely looking at it compared to last year, I'm undoubtedly a different runner. Since last March, excuse me, when we had the indoor championships canceled. And so the goal early season, qualify to nationals. And then as we got those first couple races in, obviously then the focus immediately shifted to not just All-American, but win nationals and then be right there with your teammates who are also right there at the front. So yeah, sort of those early races that changed the mindset.
What do you attribute that big improvement from a year ago to?
Nothing crazy really changed. Definitely just trusting Ben and his process and just staying true to the system. The one thing I think that could have helped for these fast times is just the track season we had sort of leading up to this. In the fall, doing more of a track-based training system opposed to cross country, which we usually do. I think that was possibly a reason for, I don't know, just being prepared for track style racing.
What do you view as your best event?
That's a good question. Last year, I've always liked the mile. That's my favorite event for sure. And then when you're on a team that's this competitive in every distance event, you go where the points are needed. And early in the season, obviously tried out the 3K. And last year, did the 3K a couple times. And I really started to enjoy that more. I did a 5K for the first time this winter in LA, and I've definitely opened my eyes up more to those longer events. But yeah, I don't know how to really categorize the best event or whatever, but I'd say the mile is my favorite event.
But like outdoors, you could obviously have the opportunity to maybe run the Olympic trials. Which one do you think you'd want to pursue out of those two events, the 15 or the 5?
Right. That's definitely going to take some consideration. I mean, as of now, I only have the trial standard and the 15. So as of now, that's my only option. But hopefully this progression continues, and we're definitely going to try to get in some fast 5Ks. And just with our guys alone, I think we should have a couple shots at trials and Olympics A standard. So yeah, I'm not sure. I just definitely want to expand my options though, just to see what's best.
Why do you like the mile better?
Shorter. Yeah, I don't know. Less laps. I like it more. It's faster too. Less pain.
The last lap in the 3, can you take us through that? Did you know you could catch Cooper?
Honestly, no, I didn't know. And I just sort of went into that race with whatever mentality. I knew we needed, I think it was like 8 points to secure the team title. So that wasn't too much pressure. I was really confident at a mile in that I was going to be at least top 4, if not like top 3. So going into the last 800, I felt like I was getting a little tired, sort of felt that mile from earlier. And then with 2 laps to go is when sort of just stopped thinking about how I felt. And there was enough action up there with Ole Miss and Cooper going back and forth that I was able to sit back there and then just sort of feed off of those moves. And as the pace got better, I was still right there. And then, yeah, I just went for it. And yeah, happy with the result, obviously.
In
Cool.
that race, your team strategy was to sort of, or at least Cooper took the lead, and it was a pretty honest pace. Was that, did you want that coming back from the mile, already having a meet record mile in your legs?
Yeah, I was just gonna see how it sort of went out. I was prepared to take it out hard for sure. I actually was ready to sacrifice myself a little bit for Cooper early on, but it really just didn't work out that way. Both me and him found ourselves right in the back of the pack about 2 laps in, and so it was just going to be too much energy to get to the front. And so I was just able to get right there with Cooper, but I was definitely a little weary of how I was going to feel ran honest pace in the mile. And then same thing coming back an hour later in the 3K. And I've never done that before. So yeah, I was definitely wondering how I was going to feel, but I was prepared to do that because that's just how I think that's how we like to race now. And I think we benefit from that.
Considering your fitness level and so forth, do you think if you'd had someone to carry the pace that you could have run a 3:48 mile fresh today?
Yeah, I have no idea. I felt really good, to be honest. And yeah, I guess I was off of a 3:56 qualifier yesterday. So yeah, I'm not sure. I definitely feel like I'm in the best shape of my life and better than 4 weeks ago when we ran 3:50.
Cole, when you guys set the DMR record back at the end of January, Cooper said in the media availability the week after that you're the most underrated guy in the country, and now today you do what Jim Ryan, Marty LaCouri, Suleiman Nambui, Lawi Lalang did by doubling. How do you view just your running career today and going forward when I put you with those names?
Yeah, it definitely hasn't sunk in yet, for sure. I mean, it's only been a couple hours, and honestly, just thinking about it, since I'm just in the position, I'm right there with Cooper, right there with Charlie, right there with Reed Brown, the nation's best every single day at practice. It just makes running in the front of a national meet just feel comfortable, just because we're all fast in practice. We're all pushing every single day. And yeah, haven't really thought about historical context or anything like that. Just group of guys makes it really easy to get fast.
And when you guys have a goal, to be like, we want to do something that no other team has ever done in NCAA history by, 8 mile 3. I mean, like, it's one thing to put that out there in the universe. It's another thing to execute it. And then you get Emmanuel and Micah, coming along for the ride. I mean, how cool is that you can have that vision and then see it all the way through?
So cool. I mean, going in after that DMR into this season, I guess the eyes sort of turned to us as the distance powerhouse at indoor nationals. So we were kind of expecting to have to pull most of the weight. In that early season at nationals points wise, but then throughout just a couple indoor races, we saw Mackay pop up number 1 60-meter runner in the nation. And then EJ right there qualifying for nationals. It's just like those guys we weren't banking on them. Just they're both young and you have no idea. And so just an insane group of guys really. And then, yeah, we're all confident in our abilities. on the distance side. And then when you see that, it's just a massive boost of just like team, just excitement and just the feeling that we can win this thing as a team.
What's it feel to finally beat Cooper? I mean, maybe you can't put in terms being kind of an NCAA legend now, but I don't think you'd ever beaten Cooper before. So what'd you say? What'd you guys say to each other after the race? And kind of was that like a hump you had to get out of your head mentally?
Yeah, actually, we raced a 800 4 weeks ago after our mile. I beat him there, but that wasn't the final or anything. So not nearly as significant as this, but I go into every race to win, and it's just every man for himself. Once the gun goes off, and we work together for sure, but yeah, it feels good to win.
All right. Any more questions for Cole? All right. Thanks a lot, Cole. Congratulations.
Thank you guys.
Congrats.